Hi, Chelsea. My name is Oceana. I work with Boost My Buyers as a small business growth specialist. I spoke to Vanessa on the phone earlier, and she told me that this was the best email to send this information to. In this video, I want to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your veterinary practice. You're probably wondering why I would send this, or maybe you're not. What's in it for me? Well, today's busy world, local business owners and office managers are too busy running their business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. And sometimes the only hesitation they have about hiring someone to help them with this stuff is that they don't know who is actually an expert and who's a scam artist. So I found that by giving people this free plan of attack of actual things that they can do to impact their business for free has resulted in some of those business owners raising their hands and saying, hey, Oceana, I like you. Please just do this for me. So if by the end of this video you like what you heard, and you can see I have a lot of tricks up my metaphorical sleeve to help your business grow, which I do, just shoot me a quick message and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free plan of attack and implement these things on your own, that is fine with me. So now let me get into the 3 things that will set your company above your competition. I'm going to go over 3 things: content, citations, and backlinks. If you don't know what those are, don't worry, I will be explaining. First is content. Content is basically everything that you see highlighted here. And I'm going to do a quick word count. Okay, so you really do need at least 1,500 words on your homepage to be optimized and start showing up in front of potential customers or patient moms and dads. The reason for this is that content is king with Google, and it can really make or break your visibility. You currently have 205 words on your homepage. Let's see how many your top competitors have. I'll be comparing you with Orange Canyon Pet Clinic for a couple of reasons. One is that their name is so close to yours. And another reason is because when I look up Pet Hospital Orange, they're coming up at number 2. I also have pulled up the information for Healthy Pet Hospital and Grooming, but they're pretty similar in their in how well they've done with their SEO. So I'm going to focus on this Orange Canyon one for today. So going over to their website, they have 1,226. So they have quite a bit more words on their homepage than you do, but it's still not even, they're not even hitting that minimum of 1,500. So it's not going to be difficult to beat these guys out, and I'll show you more proof of that as we go along. So now I'm going to pull up a tool that my agency uses. It's called Ahrefs or Ahrefs. Everybody pronounces it differently. I think of it as Ahrefs. I'm going to use this to see what keywords your site is currently ranking for. So here you are, Orange Pet Clinic, and you're currently ranking for 73 keywords. And what are those keywords? Let's see. Orange Pet Care Center, you're in number 1 position. Orange Pet Clinic, number 1 position. That's fantastic. You're number 2 for both Orange Pet Care and Orange Pet Clinic. So that's fantastic. But you are not showing up for Pet Hospital Orange, nor are you showing up for a plentitude. Is that a word? Plentitude? Lots of other lots of other keywords that people are typing in, and actually 200, let's see, do I have that up here? I know that 250 people every month are typing Pet Hospital Orange into Google, and these are the results that they're getting. So that's how I know that this is a pretty good keyword and one that you want to rank for, and one that they're not necessarily trying that hard to rank for. I'm getting way off topic here. I'm sorry. This is going to end up being a longer video than I intended. Okay, so we could definitely improve on this by including more buyer intent keywords on your site, meaning that by including the phrases on your website that a person would type if they were looking for a veterinarian in the area, you can show up in front of them right at the right time. So let's take a look at your competitor's site. and what they're ranking for. So again, I'm going to be focusing on Orange Canyon. They're ranking for 183 keywords, and those are Orange Canyon Pet Clinic, Orange County Pet Clinic. So they're okay. They're not really ranking that well. I'm gonna look over here at this one actually. I know I said I wasn't going to, but so their organic keywords are actually much higher. They're ranking for 100 or 1,100 keywords, but not all of them are really helpful. Like for some reason they have a lot. They must have information about. Yeah, it looks like they have a blog post about dogs eating salsa because people who are looking for can dogs eat salsa, there are 90 a month, and they're showing up first in that. So they're getting some traffic from that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a person is actually looking for a veterinarian, and it doesn't even mean that they're in this local area. So even if they are looking for a veterinarian, um, they could be in Texas for all we know, right? So it's important to find buyer intent keywords, but also keywords that have to do with being in the Orange County, Orange, California, and Tustin area. So that's a little information for you. Okay, so we want to identify a high-hitting keyword, which is why I chose, again, Pet Hospital Orange, because people who are typing that are looking for a pet doctor, a veterinarian, and they're in the Orange area. Or they're looking for a pet doctor that is orange, in which case I don't know what to do for them. Okay, so this is what that Google result looks like with Pet Hospital Orange. There's normally some ads up here, but there aren't any. People are paying to show up here. Well, they're not, so there's no one there. But normally there would be someone paying money to show up there. And most people scroll right past ads because they see that it says ad and they just don't like them. You don't like ads. I don't like ads. None of us do. Um, Plus, since the person who posts an ad is paying money every time that their ad gets clicked, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee, well, definitely doesn't guarantee a sale. Ads can be a real money pit if they aren't set up effectively and they're not working properly. So they can be a good idea, but you don't want to be relying on them solely. You really want to focus on organics before you even get into ads. The next visible section is called the map pack, or in this case, it's the first visible section. This is a very important part of the Google results for any local business because most people prefer to find a local business through this part of the results. Why? Because they can see how close they are to that area and decide how far they're willing to drive. So you may be wondering, how do I show up in this top 3 map pack? Because it's not necessarily, there are other veterinarians in this area. They're not showing up on this 3 because they don't seem as relevant in Google's eyes. So first, you want to make sure, this is my method for getting to make sure that you're up here in these. So here is your Google My Business listing. So whenever I'm talking about that, Google My Business listing, this is what I'm talking about. You want to make sure that this information is correct, specifically your name, your business address, and your phone number is the same phone number that you're going to list across the internet. It's important to make sure that these are the same everywhere your business is listed because Google uses this information to find out how many times your business is mentioned across the internet. Anytime that your business name, address, and phone number are listed anywhere online exactly like this, spelled these ways, it acts as a vote of confidence, telling Google that your business is both legitimate and relevant to its searchers. Citations are usually found in directories such as Yellow Book, White Book, Yext, City Star, and so forth. Even Facebook actually has an area where you can submit your information as a citation. So the opportunities are plentiful. Now I'm going to jump over to one of my favorite tools. This one is called whitespark.ca. It costs about $30 to $70 a month depending on which plan you go with. But using this, we can see a list of all of the citations that your business has, as well as the citations that your competitors have. So we can see here that you have 53 sources, while your top competitors have 50, so you're actually outdoing them, and 64. So you definitely want to outgrow the one that's in the front, right? Um, and so once again, this is a very beatable number. If you go out, I'd want to go out and get 100 in this case. And that's not really that difficult to do. How we go about beating them is identifying the directories, and here are the list of directories here, where we can submit your business information, making sure that it's spelled exactly the way that Google sees it on your Google My Business listing. We can use your competition's list of citations to find directories that we want to submit to. And we don't have to stop there. We can go out and find ones that your other competitors have also, and as well as finding ones that none of your competitors are using. And this way we can surpass them and show Google that we are more authoritative, more well-known, people are talking about you, and so that way you are relevant to the searchers looking for a veterinarian in the area. Okay, now the third thing that I want to cover with you, and this is the last thing, okay, this is a long video, is another important aspect to Google, which is backlinks. So backlinks are a way that Google decides who has the most authority and therefore is the most trustworthy and relevant. A backlink is similar to a citation in that it is a reference to your business from anywhere across the internet. But instead of listing your name, address, and phone number, it is a link on another website that points back to your website. If you had a client, for instance, that just loved your service so much that they wrote about it on their blog and included a link to check out your website, that would count as a backlink. Not all backlinks are created equal, though. That's very important. It's better to have backlinks on websites that are related to your industry, as it shows more relevance in Google's eyes. If you go around adding your website link to a bunch of random sites that have nothing to do with veterinary services, it will raise the number of backlinks, but Google won't see it as relevant and it won't do you much good. So I'm going to go back to Ahrefs real fast. So here we can see that you have 42 backlinks, which is actually quite low. We're definitely going to want to get that number up quite a bit from there. So you've got a bit of authority, you have 15, but it can be quite a lot bigger. And your trust score is very low because, again, these backlinks are very low, and so it just doesn't know. It doesn't know how relevant or trustworthy your site is. And let's check out your top competitors. Let's see, they have 643, but again, their trust score is actually quite low too. So that tells me these aren't necessarily very relevant. These probably aren't backlinks that are on other veterinaries' sites or having to do with animals. That might just be random blogs and such that they found that they could add a backlink to. Okay, so that's them, and then we'll just take a quick look. They have a very low trust score too, even though they have 248 backlinks, so same story. Okay, so we can go through these similar to how we went through the competitors' citations. If I click on this, and we can get any of the backlinks that we see. So here's okay, so veterinarians willing to see mini pigs. So that's, I guess they're listed there, so that's cute. They've got, so we would go through here basically and say, this one looks, this one, maybe, I don't know, whatever ones we find. Here, this one looks like it's something that is relevant to us. We would belong on that site. And so we go and we see if we can get that same backlink, right? See, hey, we count as this. Will you please also list us on this website? And they could very well say yes, and that'll help to bring those backlinks up. Um, hmm. Okay, so that pretty much brings us to an end. I'm just going to do a quick recap. My first tip was to find out which words you should be ranking for with buyer intent or patient intent, and make sure to include those words on the pages that you want to show up on the top of Google, and get your word count for those pages up past 1,500 on especially your homepage specifically. My second tip was to go out and get those citations and build authority for your Google My Business listing. And my third tip, final tip, is to increase your website's authority by getting backlinks to your site from other relevant sites. If you implement these strategies today, you can be showing up on the #1 spot across Google very quickly. Now you may be wondering what comes next. Well, you can take this information I provided you today and do this on your own. But if you want the most effective route and you want to save yourself the time and the hassle of figuring all this stuff out and going through it, you're welcome to give me a call. Or you can shoot me a text message. My phone number is 714-683-2380. Once again, my name is Oceana. My phone number is 714-683-2380. I look forward to hearing from you, and have a wonderful day.